Well, we got another update on the ongoing strike in Hollywood involving writers. And the latest update is a pretty bad one because the strike is expected to last at least another 3 to 6 months optimistic. Meaning that anything you're looking forward to in the next 2 to 3 years is going to see a lot of suffering in terms of quality. So projects that are currently on hold and cannot proceed without writers that we care about are going to include The Batman Part 2, Daredevil Born Again, and various other comic book projects in different states of completion are all on hold. We obviously know that they shut down the Penguin series because once again they hit a brick wall, and this is going to keep being problematic. Now, as Hollywood has decided that the writers should not get paid anymore, and they're going to literally let them starve to death so they can come back and crawl to Hollywood, they essentially are going to just sit back and let this play out. And now, optimistically, per Deadline and everybody else, they're saying 3 to 6 months might just be the case, but it could get worse. So, if you look at this compared to the last writer strike, honestly, it's looking much worse this time around, especially today's day and age where TV is not the only outlet you have anymore. You know, back then streaming was very much in its infancy, and now it's dominating, and streaming does not work currently. So everybody is backtracking off of that and reducing the amount of content they have on there, but they can't pivot back to TV because that was also something that was a product of a bygone era. So everybody is sort of standing, pointing at each other, waiting for the other's demands to get met. But unfortunately, one side can't afford to not budge because guess what? They're the corporations. The other side has to budge because they're very much people like you and I who are working jobs. And, there's no rich investors that they are a part of that's investing in this giant studio. They are seen as the disposable pawns, essentially, and that's what the articles go into. So the way you're looking at this right now is, it's a complete disaster. Let's put it that way. That's what it really is. And the longer that this lasts, the more quality is going to suffer, the more you're going to start to see a delay in releases, and we're going to be back at 2020, 2021 with the pandemic, and then enter 2022, 2023. We've seen what's happened. Everything cannibalizes one another. Essentially, you're looking at 2 years after the writer's strike is over, so much content that has to get put out because they got to appease the investors by having more content and trying to make more profits, that we're essentially going to be running into products that are rushed, products that look half-baked, and nobody learned a single lesson from the last time it happened. So it's like a awful cycle of nobody learning any mistake.